Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
Welcome everyone to the Holistic Hipster channel. I am your host, Alexis Rivera. And in today's video, I will be sharing with you exercises that will improve your overall ankle mobility so you can get a better looking squat. A little bit about myself and why I feel I am credible to share with you these exercises. I am actually an FRC certified movement specialist as well as a stick mobility movement specialist. And in today's video, I'm going to be taking a lot of principles and methods used in both of those certifications, as well as the few exercises and methods that are taken from Mind Pump's MAPS Prime Pro corrective exercise program. Now, before I share with you the exercises that will improve your ankle mobility, it's important that we first assess the ankle. And we can do so by using the ankle compass test provided in MAPS Prime Pro. Now, to perform the test, you actually want to start off in a half kneeling position with your knee directly above your ankle. And from there, your goal is to extend your knee 3 to 4 inches past the big toe, all while keeping that front foot flat and while keeping your hips and shoulders square. If you can do this without compensation of the hips or shoulders, then it's a solid pass. But if your foot starts to deviate or your hips and shoulders start to asymmetrically shift, then it's a fail. Be sure to check and test each side because one side may differ from the other. And real quick, I'd like to show you how improving one's dorsiflexion will directly improve one's squat. Now, being shown right here, I am squatting right to parallel. But once I elevate my heels by stepping on the stick, my squat depth instantly improves and I'm now squatting below parallel with ease. So why is that? Well, it's actually because the elevation of the heel allows my knee to now travel past my big toe, pretty much emulating dorsiflexion of the ankle. And for those of you who have ever worn squat shoes, you probably know what a good squat feels like. Now, imagine doing this without the aid of a crutch. Okay, so the first exercise are the ankle CARs. And what CARs stands for are controlled articular rotations. Now, CARs are an FRC principle that teaches the nervous system how to activate and how to control its outer ranges of motion. Now, quick side note, your central nervous system will dictate everything physical that you do. This includes your strength output as well as overall mobility. Because we are all flexible in the terms of the mechanical makeup of our tissue. However, our central nervous system needs to be convinced otherwise. So saying that, this FRC principle will expand our usable or functional range of motion. Now, real quick, how to do this is, well, what your goal is to create the biggest possible circle that you can by rotating only the ankle. I recommend doing 5 full rotations each way on each foot. And now we can finally get into improving your dorsiflexion. And we can do so by stepping into the combat base. This is actually another movement available in MAPS Prime Pro. Now the goal of this is to create the maximum amount of dorsiflexion by driving your knee over your toes. And you want to do this while keeping your front foot flat and without allowing your hip to flare out. Now, once we're in this position, we want to create tension in the tib anterior because the tension is actually what will allow our central nervous system to say, hey, we have control here. Now, to do this, to create that tension, what you want to do is you want to drive your tib anterior or your shin to your foot and your foot to your shin. Essentially, you are pulling each towards one another. Now, you'll know you're doing this correctly if your shin starts to feel like it's on fire. I recommend doing 3 to 5 reps on each side with holds of 10 to 15 seconds. Next movement, we will be working on ankle and foot stability, all while mimicking a squat. To begin, you want to elevate your heels and place your weight on your toes. And after that, you're going to want to slowly drop into a squat without placing the weight on the outside of your feet. And when you're at the bottom of the squat, just hold and maintain your balance. During the hold, you're going to notice that your toes, your shins, the top of your feet, maybe even the Achilles are being worked and they are trying to stabilize you. Now from there, slowly come up out of the squat with control and again, avoid rolling on the outside of your feet because for most people, this will be their default compensation. Recommendation here is to perform 1 to 2 sets of 10 total reps. And the last mobility exercise is a fantastic primer for getting into your deepest squat. For this, I'll be using, in my opinion, the ultimate mobility tool, which is the mobility stick from Stick Mobility. And it's actually a tool that enables us to increase our functional range of motion by providing feedback through the use of leverage and tension. And that tension will actually stabilize your joints, and you'll notice that you can actually drop further into a squat. So to perform the Dunphy squat, you're going to want to press the stick into an elevated surface as you slowly drop into a squat. And when you're at the bottom of the squat, you want to pause, then you want to squeeze the stick a tad bit tighter, drive the stick into the ceiling with more force, and then you want to brace your core as you slowly stand up and drive your hips forward. Now when doing this, you'll notice a greater depth on your squats as well as a greater sense of feeling solid or more stable. For these, I recommend performing 1 to 2 sets of 10 reps. And once you've completed this entire sequence or priming routine, step into your squat and see how it feels. If done correctly, your ability to dorsiflex should have improved greatly and maybe your squat will look a little something like this. As you can see, I'm actually squatting a little past parallel just to show you where a proper ankle dorsiflexion will yield in regards to improving your squat. Anyway guys, hopefully you found this video useful, and if you did, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. And if you're looking at purchasing a mobility stick of your own, just click the link down below in the description and you will be redirected to Stick Mobility's website. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Mind Pump's MAPS Prime Pro Corrective Exercise Program, click the link down below in the description and enter the discount code HOLISTICHIPSTER to receive 10% off MAPS Prime Pro, as well as receiving 10% off of any of the MAPS programs.